Hello, everybody. This is Lunar to Darkness. Today, in the Changeling venue, we are in Brooklyn, the Common Ground. It's a freehold and a bar, like a bar, freehold instead of a bar, which is also a bar, conveniently. It is a very commoner, and like everyone is welcomed as long as they keep the rules. It's recently is started to be handled by a noble, which it used to be owned by a commoner, but the commoner died in an attack. Therefore, it is now owned by a noble. Uh, our scene will begin with whoever wishes to join the scene.
All right, I guess that'll be Dalen. Um, Having already made arrangements to meet Donna here, uh, Dalen shows up waiting for her. So, walking in, he will slowly scan the room.
Everyone in this freehold is changeling. There is a two boggins, one she, one slua, one issue, one redcap, one selkie, one pisky, actually two issue. So there's a bunch of commoners around here and maybe one noble from the way they look.
So,
At the bar, there is this dude that I'm shaking his head right here. He's an issue and he is selling drinks. There, mm, at the bar area, there's a boggin, a selkie, a red cap, another issue, and a pisky.
given his current predicament, he'll try not to draw attention to himself as he heads to the bar.
You head to the bar, and the issue is like, "Yo, what do you want to drink? How can I help you, good man?"
Sure, I'll take an Irish whiskey.
Irish whiskey. Here it is. He starts pouring the Irish whiskey and gives it to you. So, what's the rumors?
I don't know yet. That's why I'm here.
Okay. Have you heard about the new countess is trying to get married with like a flaming falcon?
What?
Yeah, that's what I fucking heard.
That's the first I've heard of this one.
Nice. So you see, I'm doing good. If I told you a rumor that you didn't heard about it, it would be good. That would be bad. I would be doing a bad job.
He'll take the shot.
The Slua actually says that this lady, this person, she says that sounds like a bullshit to me. I don't think the Countess is marrying any flaming falcon anytime soon.
Why would she get married at all? I guess.
The
Seems like
Selkie.
an hassle.
What did you say?
Why would she get married at all? It seems like a hassle.
Who's an asshole?
A hassle?
Oh, marrying is an hassle to you. You're my kind of guy, says Ishu. Anyone else wishes to join the scene?
Sure, Broker and his creepy mask will spontaneously appear from the shadows.
Broker appears in the freehold and the Ishu raises his beer that he has in his hand and he says, "Mr. Broker, Mr. Edenworks, welcome."
Good day to you, friendly bartender.
My name is Chance. It is a pleasure to meet with you, good sir. How can I help you? What do you want to drink?
Just give me a good old gin and tonic.
Gin and tonic. Have you heard? Do you have any rumors that you wish to share with us? As he gives you the gin and tonic after pouring it to you.
Oh, well, I suppose there have been a few stories heading around town. Goblin Town, that is.
Ah. What happened in the Goblin Town?
Ah, well, we received a very prestigious visit from the Countess.
Very nice. Well, I'm hearing this is the second time I hear something about the Countess today. Mr. Dayland just told me that she is actually no, actually I told Mr. Dayland here that the Countess may marry the Flaming Falcon. One of the Flaming Falcons.
Hmm. Who's on the menu?
I have no idea, but probably Portios or Jerg.
Hmm. Well, Jarg seems like a nice bloke, I suppose.
The Sloa lady says he has those muscles, like those big hands, big arms.
I'm sure you'd know a lot more about it than I would.
She smiles. And the Selkie here, like the one, this one. She says, "Yeah, a lot of people. I hear he is known by a lot of people when it comes to his love life."
Dylan actually does that.
Oh well, by all means, who are his hot topics?
Well, as far as I heard, there was like the Otter Puka in Bronx that Sir Jared was dating that Otter Puka for a while,
You fucking
and then
serious?
yeah, uh, what was her
Oh, I
name?
want to feel this
Barry,
bitch.
Carrie? No, Terry. Yeah, Terry. Terry Waters.
Oh, I
Jared
want to
was
feel this.
go
Oh, I
for
want to
it.
feel this.
Go for it.
Ba, 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 ba. Nope. Never mind.
Somebody has sleeping around issues.
Well, goddamn.
Well, yeah, I heard that like he also was dating like the Baron Henry of Brooklyn. Like this place is Baron. I'm from Queens.
Ah, well, I'm from Manhattan.
I don't know if he smashed anyone from Manhattan to be honest, but yeah. She raises her beer and takes a sip from her beer.
We have a belt of chastity around the waist of New York. Raise his glass to toast.
Most people like respond to the toast. The Soloa does, the issue bartender does, um, the Selkie does, remaining individuals and like this Bog and Grump also does with a smile.
You are now known as the belt of chastity. I'm sure Ryder will enjoy that one. So, other than celebrity love lives, what else is the news around town? Or the four cities pretending to be one city?
Well, the issue says, I hear the war is coming now.
Oh yeah.
The the city is getting ready for the no to lane land. No Catane land, but I'm thinking it's about to be a no to lane land when the nobles are done with it.
I am very much looking forward to it.
Yeah, I have saw like some common rights society people coming here and talking about like how we should try to make peace.
But isn't it just easier to shoot them?
I mean, if you ask me, I don't give a shit about Tulane. Like Tulane seem they were attacking Queens for a long ass fucking time now.
And if
They
you want
were.
them to stop, you should buy Goblin Town.
I actually think about coming to Bob Goblin Town and buying some shit for myself soon. And
We have
Donna
everything from
comes.
low ordnance to high ordnance to go fuck your entire barony ordinance. It's really just up to personal taste.
I'm gonna just add Nelson's character, Damien's character, and Christie's character. They just enter at the same time.
Oh, sorry guys, didn't mean to run into you.
No.
Hello.
That wasn't awkward sounding at all.
I was kind of waiting for everybody else to welcome you, but apparently I was the only one.
Dalen has this complete look of relief when you walked in.
Donna's not used to seeing that when she appears. But she'll grin at him and kind of move to like push him aside to sort of sit next to him. Like she actually kind of gently, not hard, but she's just doing it to be annoying.
We were just discussing turning No Caffeine Land into No Verlaine Land, and also noble fuckery of the literal kind as opposed to the political kind.
I know nothing of either of those things. Of any sort of fuckery or of, No Verlaine Land. I know nothing.
Ignorance is bliss.
Absolutely.
Everybody's talking about fuckeries. Ask for a beer.
Broker, you need to make it out more often. I never see you anymore.
So you saying that to me?
Yeah, except when you deliver me wonderful little gifts.
Ah, yes. How do you like the bag harness? I don't really have a name for it. It's kind of a.
Ask Dalen. He saw me use it. It's so awesome.
Oh, that is very nice.
It's a little unsettling to watch a garbage bag climb out of a pouch on the owl's back. Yeah, other than that, fantastic idea.
Donna just beams. She does have her two owls with her, but they're on her shoulders as per usual.
The Chance sees Squire Nasrick and says, "Squire Nasrick, what would you like to drink?"
Wait, so he sees both of us and ignores Donna?
Yeah, he does.
Seriously? Oh, that's interesting. She'll take note.
I will take rum.
I can't hear you, Damien. What are you asking for?
I will take rum.
Rum for Squire Nasrick. And Dame Donna, what would you like to drink?
The deepest, darkest, most bitter and horrible tasting thing you have.
Okay, that one. And you, Mr. I have never ever seen before.
Who's he looking at?
Nelson's character.
You just he'll like poke an eyebrow. I'll have a rum too.
Rum for you as well, as he pours everyone whatever they ask for.
Does he actually give me the deepest, darkest, nastiest drink he has?
Yes.
Fantastic.
Dalen is just like looking at Donna.
Donna winces looking at it, then takes a sip, and then winces again.
Oh, you certainly got.
Can I get a strawberry daiquiri, please?
She's gonna try to slip her drink into someone else's place and steal whatever they have.
That's why he asked for the strawberry daiquiri.
something completely the opposite.
That's what most people do when she asks for something like that. But, he apparently takes a puka at their word.
He's a bartender. Not his duty to decipher. He just gets you what you want and hopefully the tip.
She would drink it. If she ordered it, she would drink it and make terrible faces the whole time.
I have seen your father, by the way.
Whose father?
Break. Talking to you, Miss Miss Noble.
Hey, you are Mr. Noble over there. And you have? What did you do with my dad?
I had a conversation.
Did you? Was it a satisfactory conversation?
It left me wanting some more, but I got what I wanted.
Okay, then. Is he more mysterious than I think he is?
Your father?
She shakes her head.
I was doing just a bit of research on history.
Oh, well, yeah, he's been around for a lot of it, certainly. He'd be a good source.
He is. Thankfully, I also got the ring. Otherwise, that would have been kind of a short conversation.
You got a ring?
To remember.
A ring to remember.
He allowed me to search for some books that are restricted.
Oh, you mean my grandfather? The librarian guy?
Yes.
Oh, yes. Well, that was nice of him to let you do that. He's very particular with his books. I thought you were talking about my dad. Like my dad's, well, he's good too, though. But yeah, Grandpa's even better. Just saw him the other day. Every time I see him, I feel like I need to bring him a sandwich because I'm never sure if he's actually eating while he's there.
Well, I haven't.
It sounds like you're from a very important family. He looks at Donna.
She shrugs. Some people, maybe. I think they're all important because they're the best.
The Boggin Grump says Dame Donna here, is from the Fezzik family. Her surname is not Fezzik, but she comes from an important Boggin family. Some even considers them quite. Mostly Boggins do consider them quite important.
We're not all Boggins. But yes, there's at least one Knocker and a bunch of Boggins. And at least one Puka Kinane that I know of besides me. Oh, and my mom was a she Kinane. Which, of course means super important, right?
Which house she was from? At least, she was family to.
Well, the most obvious and clearest choice, which is obviously just clearly Baylor, but we like to call it Dougal.
Oh, I like Dougals. The name sounds rather quaint and pleasant. It's very wholesome. Dougal. Just easy on the ears.
Is that so?
The Selkie says the best is Gwydian's, I have to say.
Team Gwydion over there?
Team body positivity and ingredients.
I suggest you go with body positivity and not focus on one house.
Dame Donna, I don't understand why.
Well, because, you see, there may be people of other houses here.
I just said I like them, that's all.
Donna just grins at her. She's like just joking
whose
around.
house is Ilunid? Yes?
Yeah,
You
Dame
want-
Donna is from House Ilunid. I know Dame Donna, I'm from Queens.
Yes.
Well,
Donna nods
really?
and just grins at her.
My attempt to repair the social situation.
No, there's nothing wrong with the situation. I was just kidding around. You guys need a sense of humor.
I'ma just say, as the issue says, like, there are Gawoodians and there are Gawoodians. I got recently fucking arrested for no reason anyway from the Flaming Falcon. So, yeah, I'ma kind of stay away from those peeps.
I don't know, good sir. You look rough around the edges. Maybe you need to spend some time in the cells.
Thanks. He says it like, okay.
Donna just looks at that and she's just like, she looks at him and she's like, I tried to get you free. It just didn't work.
The Sloa just says, I don't know what you deserve to put into jail.
What'd you do?
I didn't.
The issue just, that's the point. I didn't do anything.
I mean,
Don't
I
announce.
disagree. That dress code is clearly a crime.
Dan was about to say something. He stopped and just stuffed his gear at that one. I ain't getting that one.
I mean, the Sloa says, I haven't seen anyone getting put into prison for no fucking reason.
And what was it that you were
Just
actually
saying.
accused of?
The issue says, it seems I have connections to certain aspects of our culture that people doesn't like. And the words I use, it seems to be divisive in a storytelling competition.
Wait a minute. You're trying to say you got arrested for telling a story?
I don't really understand. What was the so your statement was quote, your statements were quote divisive. Was that the purported crime? Is that even listed anywhere? Where did this even happen?
It happened to me. I think Dame Donna was there. They were like basically arresting me for no hell fucking reason.
They were. I couldn't stop that arrest, although I managed to keep another commoner from being arrested.
This is why you should buy Goblin Down.
To me, as Selkie says, like, I don't think anyone will be arrested for that reason. I think maybe they're not sharing something that you did to everyone. Like, don't get me wrong, you're now out and running around free. But I didn't see Flim Falcons doing something wrong.
How did
Other
they treat
than-
you?
To me,
She's looking at Chance at the time. How did they treat you?
well, shitty, you know. You get in prison, you say you should be out, and they tell you no. I mean, I got them beaten, but you know, even fucking being in prison for no fucking reason is bad.
She nods. I completely agree with that, but I just meant in terms of while you were in there, they didn't do anything absolutely horrible, right?
No, they didn't.
Even if certain people would qualify a beating as terrible.
What did Nazrik said?
He said that some people would qualify beating as a terrible thing.
I was going to
to happen in
say.
prison.
Well, yes, of course. But I didn't hear anything about a beating.
I didn't got beaten in a prison, no.
Well, at least we're not there yet, thankfully.
I don't think it's likely that they would do that.
Hmm.
If anything, they're too perfect.
Perfection doesn't exist.
Have you ever seen a flaming falcon, sir? She asks with a smile.
Donna just touches her nose and looks at Nazrik.
I have seen flaming falcons.
So, with all due respect, Squire Nazarick, I'm curious what you think about them because I have seen a lot of people talking badly about them, but I can't find reasons to talk bad about them.
Hmm. Well, don't quote me on that. But hmm, personally, I don't necessarily think that flaming falcon is the problem. The problem is the way that they act. Sure, all noble house are noble and they will act in accordance to their status. But I personally find that there are a bit too much of unsilly pushback whenever the Flaming Falcon is around.
They always say this, but I never seen them do anything to the Unseelie.
Would you say that the absence of Samhain, for example, wouldn't be seen as a majority of Ancili as some sort of pushback?
But there was a problem in the Samhain, and they did it because everyone was inside. Like how we were gonna celebrate Samhain when we were inside hiding from a threat.
Let me put it simply: when you are Sealy and you are in a position of power, even if your opinion is going to be reasonable, people will not see it that way. If it was unseelie nobles who had made the decisions, probably people wouldn't be as much mm, disturbed by this help, is what I'm saying. Being good and wanting to do good is one thing, but there are other factors to consider when you do those things. And I believe that sometimes the Flaming Falcon forgets that there are precedents. There are precedents or that other people might not see as they do.
Excuse me, I have a question. What happened at Samhain?
Well, that's really a very good question, isn't it? All we know are the results.
Basically, actually, this is the responding person is the Bogan lady Grump who was listening to the conversation. The Wild Hunt appeared. Those of old knows that they appear all the time. I left tribute to them in front of my house.
What kind of tribute?
I left a lion skin and heart that I hunted with my grandchildren.
Honestly, I was out patrolling that night too. What happened to Sir Xavier could just as easily have happened to me.
And and then even Selkie says, let's not even talk about Sir Xavier. He got killed in Samhain night, defending all of us.
There's no denying that he did the honorable thing.
They say that they found him with a spear in his heart.
So because he was found dead, everyone else is getting persecuted?
Nobody is getting persecuted by Sir Xavier's dead, as far as I can see.
I've heard nothing on that. All I know is that I think they've been trying to find out, but nobody can find any information.
I'm confused.
these stories are connected kind of like my mind is, Dalen. In the weirdest of connective ways. Nobody is being persecuted or any such thing like that because of what happened to Sir Xavier. But it's more that he has actually done in the past. He actually did do at least some of the persecution, whether it was under orders or not. And it's really just, I think the common factor is probably the Flaming Falcon bit, the fact that he is one of them, or was one of them.
He was a hero of the Tulane Wars as well. And many incursions in Queens. I'm
Donna
sure
nods.
Dame Donna knows, like, he was spotting bravely with a lot of Tulane.
He did. There are things I could say, but I won't. I think it's best to let's focus on the positive.
But tell
Sure.
us, please, Dame Donna. Says Maria, the
No,
dog and grump.
No, I won't. Because the thing is, my personal feelings have nothing to do with the fact that he died bravely and honorably.
I'm just curious if there's something wrong with the Flaming Falcon. We all should know.
I mean, I'm an Ilunid. Am I a part of the Flaming Falcons to know these things?
I don't think the Flaming Falcon has members from Ilunids. But I don't know a lot about nobles anyway.
Well, if they do, I haven't heard about it yet.
I think there was one individual who may join them from House Fiona. I forget her name. But Oaken's mother.
Oh, really?
Dame Sonia, yeah.
Good to know. I hadn't heard that rumor. Whatever can be said about Sir Xavier, he did what he needed to do. And what else can you say for someone who died trying to protect us?
Protect us from what?
The Wild Hunt.
Wild Hunt.
Tell me more about the Wild Hunt. I'm interested.
Please.
I didn't meet them.
The bargain takes a deep breath and says, in the times of old, there were times where they say that every single person has a darkness inside of them. And the Wild Hunt is manifestation of those darkness. They come and they hunt without mercy unless you pay their respect to them. I'm 65 years old and I have seen people dying to them, trying to fight with them. All of them simply died.
That's awful.
How would one go about combating the Wild Hunt? I'm sure that there are individuals who have not gone about these tributes and have survived.
By running away, I heard. But I'm not completely sure, to be honest, Mr. Edenworks.
No chance of being able to fight them.
Pardon?
No chance of being able to fight them.
I think so.
You think there is no chance, or you think there is a chance?
I think there's no chance of fighting and winning, as far as I know.
Well, I highly disagree with this statement.
Donna will look at the issue because not the issue. The storyteller guy, Chance. I'm losing my brain. And she'll just be like, "You like stories? Do you know of any stories about them?"
I have heard many stories about the Wild Hunt. They say that the Wild Hunts are. I heard once that the Wild Hunts are the members of the Unseelie houses coming together and hunting all the Sealies for stealing the Winter Throne and the Autumn Throne.
What? But then they're just changelings. They're highly killable.
He shrugs.
Not that we should be killing other changelings, as she eyeballs him, knowing that he already has killed one.
I mean, tell the Wild Hunt.
And how often does this happen?
Mishu says, I don't know. I kind of don't know, but the Boggin says every Samhain.
So once a year, for one night.
Pardon?
So once a year for one night.
Yes.
Can they enter the Autumn world?
In the Samhain, I think they can.
Well, thank you for this information. I'll have to do a bit of research on my own, but I'm confident we can discover a way to deal with them without having to effectively give tributes under threat of death.
As it happens, I happen to be the holder of many interesting books that might just offer you tidbits of information. As she grins at him.
I do love a good read, although I do love a picture show more.
I'm curious about one other thing the Boggin asks. What do you guys think of, like, I have heard you guys think about the Tulane Wars, and we should call that no Tulane land in the future. But why we shouldn't be okay with reasonable Tulanes? I don't think every Tulane is evil.
Are you sure?
I'm sure about my beliefs, yes. I think there should be a reasonable Tulane.
You would think that, except that I have yet to meet one.
Don't you think that's possible?
What should exist and what does exist are two completely different things.
That's true, but...
Do you remember the massacre? What, a year ago, maybe?
So, I have heard that I have heard, and I know, that there is a house, which I am not going to name, says that they admit that they have connections in the Knight of Iron Knives. Do I judge every single one of those people?
That's like saying all Unseelie are evil.
Donna,
I know exactly. I get it. No, I get it. I got it. No worries.
That burn. Like, she kind of burned you, maybe?
Oh, Donna just went quiet at that point.
Just like,
she's thinking.
Well, if they were common and support goblins, how maybe they wouldn't have been a Knight of Nine Knives. Maybe we would have just blown them all up.
I try to make sure that I don't blame houses for actions of one or whatever made a massacre in this place is a monster, but there are members of the Dreaming as much as us. Why, if they're reasonable, we shouldn't seek peace with them, even in no Tulane land. No,
I'll tell you what. You find me a reasonable Tulane, and I'll consider it. How about that? We got a deal?
I think what you're asking for may be impossible. Just because there are reasonable ones out there, don't mean that they're the ones in charge.
By nature, they are dark. And everyone I've ever seen has attacked me, tried to kill my friends, my family, my barony, everybody in my barony, my neighbors.
Houses you once served try to kill my family.
She nods. But that was one person, that wasn't.
It was not one person.
But fair,
I'm
but
55
what I'm
years old.
My point still stands, though. If you can find me a reasonable Thalain, then I would be happy to see if we could come to some kind of equitable arrangement.
I believe that equitable arrangement will be their surrender after they're beaten into the ground.
I'm not leading the war.
Silwa says, according to the regent of Concordia, any Talain has been sent needs to be killed.
Oh. Well, that simplifies things, I suppose.
And then the bargain says the regent of Concordia also says that the Ancili are the problems, and the Ancili are the reason Talain came back, but that probably makes it true. So the response says, and regent of Concordia said no such thing.
Well,
I don't get it. Your request is never going to happen, Donna.
I know. And the problem would be finding the reasonable Thalain. I have reason to believe that there is not one.
Well, you can't say that for sure.
I said I have reason to believe. I didn't say that it is an absolutely certain fact.
So why we should immediately wage war and not try to have?
Because they took what is ours. You have to think. You have to think like the nobles. That place was ours. They took it.
To be fair, haven't the Thalain already engaged in acts of war against the county?
Multiple times.
Maybe it's because that the county would kill them in sight.
But in which case, a conflict is inevitable anyway.
I'm not very interested in seeing a bloodshed very fastly. I'm a simple bargain. I would try to find ways to not have conflict, and that's what I'm trying to. Like you all five seem like reasonable individuals.
As someone who directly profits from said conflict, I respect your position.
The Sloa laughs, Ishu laughs, Eris doesn't laugh, the Selkie doesn't laugh.
I don't laugh. I'm laughing. Dana doesn't laugh.
No, Donna doesn't either, but I did.
But in all seriousness, it's a position where conflict would be inevitable because either the Thalain fight or die, or the county defies the laws of Concordia, in which case the ruling society of this county is replaced with those who will engage in conflict of the Thalain. And probably will lead to a lot of collateral casualties as well. In some instance or another, we are effectively being forced to commit to some sort of conflict. We just have to choose which one. We have a choice, but I'm personally not of the stance that a conflict is avoidable in this situation. Particularly given that the Falane, at least in most of our cases, just kind of looks around. Falane went after us first. Like, I didn't really care about the Falane, to be honest, and until now.
They literally tried to trap me and Terry.
Yeah, didn't I? I think no. Wasn't that one individual that had a bounty on the head that we helped capture a Falane?
No, she was a slewer. She was a slewer.
Was she just a slewer? Okay.
Yeah.
She was a slewer, unseelie slewer, but she was aiding like the Baylorites.
Ah, yes.
Yeah.
Okay. Not actually Falane.
But like
remembering.
after some time, it come up that they have connections with Tulane, though.
Yeah, I think that's it. It wasn't that they were Falane themselves; it was that they were connected to Falane.
The Shadow Court, Tulane, blah blah blah.
Yes, the Shadow Court.
Territorial problem. It's bound to happen, no matter what.
You know, for however menacing the Shadow Court sounds, they haven't really succeeded all that much, have they?
Or perhaps they're just too good and stay in the shadow.
I mean, from what I've seen, they mostly just die.
Sorry.
Go right ahead.
I would say that not having a war would be best for us as well. But the only way I foresee that actually working out is if they leave. If they leave, I'd be fine with just letting them leave. We don't need to chase them if they're out of our territory.
If you born as a Tulane and had if you just born as a Tulane and someone says, if you leave your home, we will not kill you, how would you respond?
Well,
I never said it was reasonable. I'm just telling you that is one way that the only thing I can imagine that will work at this point.
I mean, Falane are effectively stateless under the ruling authority. They are not beings of citizenship, so, I mean, they're going to wind up in someone else's territory and then they'll enter into a conflict there. But
I think that if we just like invade this land, we're going to meet with a lot of resistance because we were attacking to one place that they had called home since they arrived.
Yes, but they've also been attempting to expand into other people's territory through use of violence.
And they only took that area like 6 years ago.
That's the problem. They sort of ceded their moral high ground a long time ago. There's not really an ethical defense for them. There is an ethical attack that can be made upon the laws of Concordia for facilitating an inevitably violent outcome. But these Falane in particular have shown that irrespective of these problems, they intend to expand and take our lands, regardless of whether or not there are sympathizers within those lands.
The problem is, it was Baron Alexander who attacked Milcatane land while we didn't knew there was a Tulane there.
I remember going into Queens and I remember being swarmed by chimmerlings from No Cathane land. In fact, I'm pretty sure I piloted a mech about a year ago, mowing most of them down because they just attacked us off the cuff. We were actually just there to sell things to people. We don't actually care really who you are in Goblin Town.
Oh, see, Donna, someone just talked shit about your Baron, just so you know, and I've returned to a conversation. Immediately she says, like, I completely understand that everyone has grievances, but what I'm trying to say is, we didn't knew no Catane land had Tulane. We just weren't able to go there, and there were still sheep and nobles who were leading charges there and killing everything on their path.
Actually, maybe you didn't know that there were Tulane there. Baron Alexander did.
No, there was rumors about Tulane being there. Nobody knew completely that Tulane existed.
Are you sure?
I am quite sure about this.
So you know exactly what Baron Alexander knew, who is a noble and probably kept a lot of things to himself.
I know what he shared.
Right, but you don't know what he actually knew.
Yes, I didn't knew what he knew, but at the same time, I was actually being in the Queens because I was trying to help Queens.
And I, I appreciate that, and so does he. But it's just when you're leading, you can't always tell everything you know because it might cause all kinds of problems. An open door policy is not possible. So having a little trust there that he was making
So,
the best decision he could in that scenario seems to make the most sense.
so the Baron Alexander knew there was Tulane there, and he didn't tell his people that he is leading charge against the No Contain Land, fighting with Chimera, and expected people to he led changelings to a hostile area after he said we were going to fight Chimera, and you say he knew there were Tulane there.
I'm saying he probably did.
That's even worse.
No, it isn't.
No, it isn't.
It means that he knew what was going on there,
Knew-
and most likely those people knew as well, because he would not have taken someone in there without warning them.
I was in the first raid.
Were you?
Yes, I was. There
Okay.
were 13 raids, and I was in one of those raids. No, actually, there were 16 raids, and I was in one of them. Like the first of them, I was in. I was not told there were something other than Chimera.
I mean, did you fight anything other than Chimera?
Maybe he didn't know at that point then. Maybe you're right.
I didn't find anything other than Chimera. I was actually a medic.
Oh, well, I mean, then not pertinent information. I mean, it's difficult to say. I mean,
We're just throwing out.
If there
I'm
are-
throwing out ideas here. It's not fair to assume that he immediately that he did the wrong thing, or that he had horribly ill intentions.
You're talking about the living legend of the Alexander the Great here.
We're talking about my Baron, the person who I've sworn fealty to. Yes, we're talking about him.
That only makes you more. How do I say this? Like you would defend.
Biased?
Yes.
Of course I am, and I will continue to do so. Take that bias any way you would like.
I mean, you're both biased. You're both committed to your points of view.
That is fair. As Donna nods and continues to try, to just she kind of offers a little smile to her, like she's not trying to judge her. But Donna feels as though she has to defend Alexander, so she will,
Not necessarily feel. Oh, sorry.
Galen will place a hand on Donna's hand and ask her if she need another drink.
Oh, but the first one was so delicious.
Can I get another daiquiri, please?
Yes, you can, sir. As the Ishu pours another drink. And Sola is mumbles something under her breath, and if anyone wants to hear, they can roll perception alertness difficulty 7.
I mean, yeah.
Perception what?
Alertness.
I hear all of the things.
She said fucking
I heard all the things too.
she says fucking Common Rights Society and fucking heretics.
Oh, so she wasn't against me. That's nice to hear, I think. Because I think that's how I understood that. Interesting. Donna just waits for the drink. She's not going to comment on that. She's just going to be like, I challenge you to find me any leader, commoner or otherwise, who can find a way to give the entire full story of everything that happens to all of the people that they lead.
There was once a group in Brooklyn who We're sharing a lot of things with everyone.
James heard something completely different when she whispered, "Go, that's a bot."
You heard, fuck this bitch, and I want to fuck her so bad.
Wow. Wow.
That's exactly
Praise
what
be
you
to the
heard.
Flaming Falcon.
Yeah, like what you heard was the I will kill this bitch in the name of God Emperor.
God Emperor David.
Yeah.
Probably.
I don't necessarily think. I mean, it's not a particularly strong argument to me. I have to be honest.
The
Like that's basically saying. I mean, that argument is effectively equivalent of, well, I guess we can never know the truth, which isn't really accurate.
Are you sure? Because you're talking to someone who lives their life in a very specific fashion in which the truth and a lie are incredibly fluid.
Tell me about it.
Donna just pats his arm.
Dylan just looks the other way.
Yes, there are certain objective truths. For example, if I were to shoot that man in the head right there, and he died, I could reasonably be said to have murdered him.
I'm sure I could find another way to put it that wouldn't necessarily be that way.
That's merely an interpretation, but it does not. It does not change the fact.
Actually,
It would also be considered wildly misleading. So it is still a fact.
Donna just shrugs.
Granted, it relies on inductive. Actually, no, it doesn't even rely on inductive reasoning, really, unless you consider the evidence of your eyes and ears to be inductive. I suppose you could, but even then, it would still be considered a fact.
Okay, well then, reasonably, how do you expect to find out the exact truth of what happened?
Well, that is what investigation and researchers and enforcers of the law and detectives and investigators exist for, correct? Broker's phone rings briefly. I'm sorry, I have to attend to this. I'll be back in a few minutes. Sorry, I have to be. My apologies. This timing is poor.
Oh, it's fine. Donna's actually just fine. She's just gonna start. She's gonna kind of play with her drink, and then eventually eat one of the strawberries because that's the best part.
Things are never short of being complicated around here.
We all have our loyalties, and we're all trying to do the best thing we can. And I'm glad there are people who question us, who question people that I question. We all need to be questioning things.
Don't say that too loud. You get hauled off to jail and get questioned.
Well, we don't all need to be questioned by the Flaming Falcons. In fact, none of us need that.
What did she say? Sorry.
No, she said, I'm glad people are questioning. People need to question what's happening around them.
Dylan said, "Be careful what you say, or you'll get hauled off and questioned."
And yeah, but to which Donna responded with, "Well, none of us need to be questioned by the Flaming Falcons."
Only those who deserve are mostly questioned by the Flaming Falcon. Basila says.
They do have a method to their madness.
Madness? I don't think they are mad. I think they're the best thing happened to this place.
I would not go that far, but I didn't mean that they were actually mad.
I
meant more like that was just a saying. Saying there's a method to their madness means whatever they're doing, even if we don't understand it, there's a logic to it.
Besides, sometimes... Oh, sorry, go ahead.
No, you go right ahead, man. You're PC.
I said, besides, sometimes madness can be the best thing that can happen to someone or something.
I have to say that When you leave nobles alone, all they do is fighting and not thinking about commoners. Nothing and no one has to think about the commoners and give them aid as much as the Flaming Falcon.
That is one good
Or
thing
rights.
about them. I can't deny that they certainly help you. Helped us back when I was a commoner. And I think their motives are good. I just question some of their methods.
Well, it is good that they don't compromise with a lot of houses. That's what she said.
Mhm.
Hmm. The Ikin says, well, all about the Flaming Falcon. I'm actually quite sad that recently I've heard of someone is missing in Manhattan. Jared, yeah. Jared from the Manhattan. He's a Bogan. And I'm not sorry, he's a Chloricon. It seems his mother's looking for him.
Really?
Mm-hmm.
What's happened? Do we have any idea?
No, he's just missing and nothing that belongs to him is being found.
Well, clearly someone needs to look into it. We can't let one of our own just go missing without
Yeah,
reason.
the Baron Henry was told about this, but they basically said we couldn't find him and trying hard, but nothing is found.
Was it Saweem?
No, it wasn't Samhain. It was after Samhain.
Who is it?
Just a normal commoner.
Well, it's not quite a normal commoner. They disappeared.
Yeah, and it wasn't Baron Henry. It was Baron Hamilton. Sorry, the just
Oh,
must have-
right. Yeah. I've met him once. I feel
Hamilton?
that she shakes her head because that was a question.
Mhm.
Just the once. It was
I wish
brief,
I met
but
him.
why?
I don't know. I hear good things about him.
He was very busy that day, but he definitely had business at hand that he had to deal with. But he was polite.
She nods.
I
There's
get
a
the
cat.
impression he's.
There's a
ahead.
cat who jumps up and appears around places time to time. That's all.
Donna will offer it bits of her food. Like if there's like anything that the cat would want to eat that's around.
Yeah, the chimera will eat the food.
I mean, while she's a full-size person, well, at least a half-size person, she's not worried about cats. If she was a bird, she might be more worried. I think he's trying very hard, and I think the Baroness is trying very hard as well. What have you heard about the Baroness?
Baroness who? Which Baroness? There's like, I think, two Baronesses now.
I'm trying to remember her name. It was Baroness, the wife of Hamilton.
Cirrus.
Thank you. Baroness Cirrus?
I didn't heard a lot of things about her because I'm not in Manhattan. Is there anything anyone wants to do or wants to say in the scene?
No, I'm good.
Okay then. Then it will be the moment I will end the scene, everyone. Thank you, players, for playing. Thank you, watch for watching. See you next time in the next episode of Living